Okay, time to start playing. Turn this up a little bit. Where's my toy? Put this back. We're all set. Okay, ancient battlefield. What's a strange feeling? Choosing to continue will cause the main story to advance. It will also not be possible to go any further in Lloyd's story for a brief period. Is something wrong, Lloyd? Oh, sorry, I thought he said something strange, but it must have been my imagination. Wait, why does my pocket feel bulkier all of a sudden? A mirror? How peculiar looking. Where did you find it? I'm not sure. I've never seen it before. Strange as it sounds, it just appeared in my pocket out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that doesn't just happen. I'm guessing one of the village kids slipped it in your pocket as a prank. Maybe, but I doubt any of them could pull it off without me noticing. But if that's not it, then how did it get in my pocket? I can't even hazard a guess. I feel as though I have it for a reason. It's so bizarre. Where could it have came from? Okay. Rain. Heimdall Central Station, March 17th.
We're finally here. We're finally here.
10 already?
Damn.
Sure is.
10 already?
Heimdall's
Sure
pretty
is.
far from Ymir.
Heimdall's pretty far from Ymir.
Our next target shall be the monk. Our next target shall be the monks admire that gathers in the Vermilion City.
The Vermilion City C mentioned can only be
Vermilion
Heimdall.
City C mentioned can only be
Capital is
Heimdall.
gigantic.
But
We're
the
going to need
capital is
some way to narrow
gigantic.
our search radius.
We're going to need some way to narrow our search radius.
The racecourse in the Gagne
You ask
district
me.
seems
The
suspicious.
racecourse in the
Do
Gagne
they
district
now?
seems suspicious.
I know.
Do they now?
I'll save having
I
fun till
know,
the
I
work's
know.
done.
I'll
Be
save
happy
having
to
fun
take you
till
anywhere
our
you
work's
like
done.
once we've
Be
ensured
happy to
Prince
take you
Oliver
anywhere
is
you
safe.
like once we've
As long
ensured
as it's
Prince
not
Oliver
the kind
is
of
safe.
shady businesses
As
I
long
know
as
you
it's not
want
the
to
kind
go
of
to.
shady
I got
businesses I know you
Can't very
want
well
to
go
go
to him
to.
in
I
uniform.
got you. Can't very well go to him in
That's-
uniform.
Not the problem here, Ash.
That's not the
We can
problem
go for
here,
dessert
Ash.
though, right? We can go for
course.
dessert though, right?
Of
It'll
course.
be on me. Just
It'll
focus
be
on
on
the
me.
investigation first.
Just focus
Let's
on the
start with Lady
investigation
Aria,
first.
since she's agreed to speak
Let's
with
start
us.
with Lady
To the
Aria
training
since
hall
she's
in the
agreed to
Leica
speak with
district
us.
we go then. To the training hall in the Leica district we go then.
Ranger Act 2, Vermilion Muck and Mire. The morning after learning from Major Clare of Crossbell's occupation, we set about discussing how we should act. We also established contact with all the members of Class 7 that we could to inform them of the situation. First, there was the matter of Crossbell itself. We knew from the Major's intel that it was under the control of the former Governor General and his Evan Defense Force. Anxiety over the region's welfare gnawed at us, but as it had been isolated from the outside world, we had no way to learn more. Indeed, there was little we could do on that front for the time being. Then there was the matter of the search for Prince Oliver and his wife. Their whereabouts remained unknown. Furthermore, the Randa 7 system we had used to stay in touch over long distances relied on an artifact stored on the Courageous 2. And with the airship stolen, that method of communication was lost to us. Our only clue then was the message sent to the intelligence division by sea. Vague as it was, the information was undoubtedly our best lead in unraveling the mystery of the prince's disappearance. With hope on the horizon, we set about dividing ourselves into several groups. Major Clara and Una agreed to head east to get a handle on the situation in Crossbell. Meanwhile, Lord Matthias and Kurt would head west and rendezvous with the students of the Vander School. Muse volunteered to return to the branch campus to meet up with the principal and her fellow students, as well as seek help from other sources. The others would all find ways to play to their strength in aiding our cause. Meanwhile, I was to bring Altina and Ash with me to Heimdall, to follow the trail left to us by C's message.
That is basically our situation as it stands.
That is
His
basically our
Excellency
situation as it
asked us to
stands.
tell you that he
His
hopes you'll be
Excellency
able to
also
look
asked
after
us
the
to
hall
tell you
this
that he
extended
hopes you'll be able
absence.
to look
Thank
after
you
the
for
hall.
updating
this
me on
extended
everything going
absence.
on.
Thank you for updating me on everything going on.
It's the least we could do. Your husband
It's
did
the
a lot
least
for
we could
us.
do.
More like
Your
put us
husband
through
did
the
a lot for
goddamn
us.
ringer.
More
All
like
while
put us through
shrugging
the
off our
goddamn
attacks
ringer.
like we were
All
nothing
while
more
shrugging
than a
off
bunch
our
of
attacks
buzzing
like we were
mosquitoes.
nothing more than
He
a
sent
bunch
Kurt
of
flying
buzzing
off a cliff,
mosquitoes.
too.
He sent Kurt
I
flying
found
off
him
a
quite
cliff, too.
terrifying.
I found him
I
quite
do
terrifying.
hope he didn't leave you with any
I
lasting
do
trauma.
hope he didn't leave
Still,
you with any
his is a
lasting
measured
trauma.
hand.
Still,
If he
his
came
is a
at you
measured
that
hand.
fiercely,
If
he
he came
trusted
at you
you could
that
handle
fiercely,
I
he
hope you can
trusted you
understand
could handle it.
that he
I
only
hope
did
you
what
can
he did
understand that
because
he
saw
only did what
potential
he
in all
did
of you.
because he saw potential in all of
We
you.
do. Don't worry. Yeah, could tell he wasn't acting with any ill will. If anything, I'm the one with a reputation for being stern disciplinarian around here. Based on how often I see my students quake at the knees, I'd wager they fear me more than my husband. We caught wind of that when we were here for our field exercises. Kurt's got some monster parents. Surprised the guy ain't half Tomartian or something. In the time I spent with him, it was clear there was much more to him than his stern presence on the battlefield. He was kind enough to share some wisdom with me too. Was he now? Heh, he's a man of few words, so that's very unusual. I can't picture that happening at all. Heh, same here. Please don't speak rudely about the man in front of his wife, you two. Don't worry, I appreciate their honesty. Still, I'm glad to see that you all seem even more united as a class than you did when you were last here. Do continue to look after my Kurt, won't you? Of course. We would even if we weren't asked to. And if he wants help getting into the good kind of trouble, I'm his guy. Ahem. Getting back to why we're here. Has anything out of the ordinary happened in the capital recently? The students who were here have split up across Erebony to search for information on Prince Oliver's whereabouts. As such, I'm not as well informed on the situation here in Heimdall as I would be. But there is one thing I feel is worth mentioning. What is that? It feels as though there are more people coming and going than there should be, especially given how there are no festivals or celebrations here around this time of year. It's making the capital feel more restless than usual, differently from how it did during the summer festival. It's as though there's something stagnant in the air. I'll be glad to not have to deal with any more Calvert spies like at the festival, that's for sure. But stagnant air is all you're gonna get in the city to begin with. You feel anything out of whack, Schwarzer? Not especially, if I'm honest. I'm guessing it's a relatively slight difference, ma'am? Yes, it may even just be my imagination. You've lived in Heimdall for a long time. If something feels amiss to you, it likely is. We'll keep that in mind when we investigate. I'm sorry I can't provide you with any more concrete information. There's one thing I can do, however. I'd like to introduce you to someone dependable to aid your investigation. Oh? Well, I say introduce, but you in particular know her very well. She should be here any moment now. Ah, there we are. This is Laura. May I?
Laura, come in.
I think I know who that is.
I suspected
I
as
think I know
much.
who that
By all
is.
I
means.
suspected as much.
By all means.
Elise.
Elise.
Hello, everyone. It's good to
Elise.
see you all again.
Hello, everyone.
The same to you.
It's good to see you all again.
The same
She's a little helper, huh?
So she's our little helper, huh?
Indeed. Sister Doreen,
Indeed.
friend to Princess Alphen,
Sister Doreen.
and head of Saint
Friend to
Astraea
Princess
Student
Alphen,
Council.
and head of
The
Saint
noble
Astraea
Elise
Student
Schwarzer
Council.
herself.
The noble
Princess and
Elise
Muse have
Schwarzer
already
herself.
apprised me of the situation.
The Princess and Muse
So I
have
spoke
already
with Lady
apprised me of the
Aurier and
situation.
volunteered to aid you
So
upon
I
your
spoke
arrival.
with Lady Aurier
I
and volunteered
apologize
to
if my
aid you
behavior
upon your
strikes you as
arrival.
meddlesome.
I
But I am
apologize if my
certain that I will
behavior
be able
strikes
to
you
aid
as
you in your
meddlesome.
investigation.
But I am certain that I will
You
be
do
able
know
to
more
aid you
about
in
the
your
capital than
investigation.
any of us.
You do know more about the
You're not
capital than
coming.
any of us.
That's final.
You're not coming, and that's final.
Out comes the big
What?
water.
There's still far
Out
too
comes
much we
the
don't
big
know about
water.
the situation here.
There's still
Given that
far
our
too
enemies
much we don't know
pilfered the
about the
name of the
situation
Imperial
here.
Liberation
Given that
Front.
our enemies
We
pilfered the
could
name
very
of the
well be
Imperial
dealing
Liberation
with
Front.
terrorists.
We
Involving
could
a
very
civilian
well
in
be
this
dealing
would
with
be downright
terrorists.
irresponsible.
Involving a
So
civilian
I'm
in
just a
this would be
civilian, am
downright
I? Just a
irresponsible.
no-good student
So I'm
without
just
a
a
motive
civilian,
power
am
to her
I?
name?
Just a no-good student
That's
without
not
a
what I'm
motive
trying
power
to-
to her name?
Oh, I think it is.
That's not what I'm
Even
trying
leaving
to...
that aside.
Oh,
your
I
blunt
think it
dismissal
is.
misses
But
an
even
important
leaving that
point.
aside,
And what
your
point
blunt
is that?
dismissal misses an
The
important
situation at
point.
hand doesn't
And
relate
what point
to
is
me.
that?
When I
But
am
the
Princess
situation at hand
Alphen's
doesn't
dearest
relate to
friend.
me. When I am
Is
Princess
that-
Alphen's
this is-
dearest friend.
As we
That
speak,
is that.
she is
This
racked
is-
with worry over her brother's
As we
well-being.
speak, she is
Yet,
racked
as the
with
matter
worry
is
over her brother's
confidential, She has to
well-being.
feign a smile
Yet,
and
as
act
the
as though
matter is
everything normal.
confidential, she has
She
to feign a
cannot cast
smile
her
and act as though everything
responsibilities
is
aside
normal.
and aid in the
She cannot
search
cast
herself
her
either.
responsibilities aside
And
and
because
aid
she
in the
cannot,
search herself
I will
either.
do so in her place.
And because she
If
cannot,
I just sit by
I will
idly
do
while
so
she
in her
suffers in
place.
silence and
If
do
I just
nothing
sit
to
by
alleviate her
idly while she
burden,
suffers in
I
silence
won't be
and do
fit to
nothing to
call myself
alleviate
her
her
friend
burden,
ever again.
I won't be fit to call
Please.
myself her friend ever again.
Looks like you lose this
Please.
one, Schwarzer.
You realize
Looks
both
like
of
you
them are
lose this
Schwarzer
one,
in this
Schwarzer.
context.
You realize both of
If
them
I
are
may,
Schwarzer in this
I
context.
think you would do well
If
to
I
put
may.
your trust in her here.
I think you
Her
would do
skill
well
with
to
a
put your
rapier
trust in her
is
here.
formidable.
Her skill with a rapier is
Maybe
formidable.
so, but
I have
That
toiled
may be
long and
so,
hard
but-
to master the art of
I
fencing
have
passed
toiled
down
long
through
and
our
hard
family.
to master the
Of
art
late,
of fencing
I have
passed
even
down through
grown
our
under
family.
Lady Aurier's
Of late,
tutelage.
I have even
And far
grown
from
under
letting
Lady
my pen
Aurier's
rest while my
tutelage.
sword hand
And
improves,
far from
I
letting my
have
pen
overcome
rest
many
while
a
my sword
challenge as
hand
student
improves.
council president.
I have
I am
overcome
no
many a
longer a
challenge as
cowering
student
child
council
in need of
president.
your protection,
I am no
dear
longer a cowering child in need of your protection, dear brother.
all right. Ash called this one
All
right.
right.
You win.
Ash called this one right.
We'll be
You
glad
win.
to have your assistance. But if things
We'll be
get
glad to
dangerous,
have your
I
assistance.
want you to do as I
But
say.
if things get dangerous, I want you to do as I say. Deal?
Deal!
I wish you all well in your investigation.
I
Please,
wish you all well in
do
your
be careful.
investigation.
Should I
Please,
catch wind of
do be
anything you
careful.
hear, I'll let
Should
you know
I catch
immediately.
wind of anything you hear,
Thank you.
I'll let
We
you know
appreciate it.
immediately.
Then let us set off.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Then let
I
us
will
set
do
off.
my best not to overextend myself and leave you
I
all
will
to
do
carry
my
the
best
burden.
not to overextend
Please.
myself and leave
You are
you all to
truly
carry
in
the
need?
burden.
I hope you won't
Please.
hesitate to
If
tell
you
me.
are truly in need, I hope you won't
Or even
hesitate
I
to tell
possess
me.
a strength that you can lean on.
For
Thanks.
even I possess a
It's
strength
good to
that
know
you can
you've got
lean
my
on.
back.
Thanks. It's good to know you've got
And
my
the
back.
feeling is mutual.
And the feeling is mutual.
Now on we go. Let's see, what to do next. We have to meet up with the rest of our friends who've come to the capital. But there's still plenty of time before our scheduled gathering. Heh, no point in rushing it then. Shall we patrol the districts and gather some intelligence? That way we can meet with the others along the way. Given your familiarity with the area, that certainly sounds like the most efficient plan. That reminds me, apparently the violin nerd we're supposed to meet up with is from here. Right, Elliot hasn't been on tour, so he's been working in the city. Machias is from the capital too. Machias, Alyssa, Toa, and Sharon. I hope they're all doing alright. I'm sure they are. For now, let's focus on what we can do. You're right, Green. Go to this cafe first. I might be able to get a recipe. Yep. Fruitful pancakes. Hey, look who just stepped in. Well, I'll be if it isn't the Ashen Chevalier and his comrades. Your timing couldn't be more perfect. We were just reading a letter from Kenneth and Lady Annabelle. Well, that's funny. Last I heard, those two were off on a fishing journey across the continent. That they are. From what it says here, they're on the barrel now. They're having the time of their lives, fishing themselves silly. It seems to be quite the educational trip, too. Kenneth's making progress in his report analyzing aquatic ecosystems. Ah, to be so young and full of energy. I can't wait for the two of them to come back and regale me with the tales of their exploits. Definitely, I'm sure he'll return twice the fisherman he was when he left. He might even prove him helpful with that new enterprise of yours. You mean my water quality management initiative? True. The more data we have, the better we can appropriately manage a wide array of different environments. I already have William helping me out. He's heading out east, as well as the Fisherman's Guild. But if we can get Kenneth and Miss Annabelle to pitch in without it interrupting their journey, that'd be even better. That's what I think. In fact, I bet they'll be all too eager to lend you a hand. Crossbow really seemed to be finding its feet. It's a shame to see it fall on hard times again with that United Nation business. I hope the members of the Fisherman's Guild aren't having too tough of a time over there. Even I know that's wishful thinking, though. Yeah, as much as I hate to admit it. But... I was going to offer my congratulations to them all, but then the former governor Rufus had to throw a wrench into everything. Everyone at the Lake Lloyd Company sounds just as concerned about what's going on as everyone else. We've got to keep making progress in our own investigation over here for the sake of those in Crossbell too.
Should we check the Imperial Museum while we're here?
Should we check the
Wouldn't
Imperial
hurt to poke our
Museum while we're
noses
here?
inside.
Wouldn't hurt to poke our noses inside.
Here we are, the Imperial Museum. There don't seem to be many visitors today. There don't seem to be many visitors today.
It isn't rain.
If it
Seen you
isn't
around here
rain.
since the branch campus's field
I haven't
exercises.
seen you around here since
Hey,
the branch
Dorothy.
campus's field
Good to see you.
exercises.
Hey, Dorothy. Good to
How's
see
work been
you.
treating you?
Pretty good.
How's
all
work
things
been treating you?
considered. Actually,
good,
my
all
publisher's
things
been pushing me
considered.
to become a full-time author after how well my
my
latest novel
publisher's been
sold.
pushing me to become a full-time
I like
author
my work
after
as a
how well my
curator
latest
too,
novel
so
sold.
I don't think I'm ready to
And
quit
I
just
like
yet.
my work as a curator too, so
That's
I
great.
don't think I'm ready to
Always
quit
nice
just
to have
yet.
options.
That's great. Always nice
And
to have
there's
options.
the other reason I don't want to go into writing full time. I'd probably become a total shut-in. I'd miss out on all of this. I find the best way to seek inspiration is to observe daily life, people watching, so to speak. Why, as I was on my way home from work the other day, I spotted a budding flower at the nearby cafe that caught my eye. My mind went wild imagining the experiences that could end the precarious final days of his youth. I can't keep doing this. My nose is going to bleed all over my blouse again at this rate. It's no wonder why Her Highness sees you as kindred spirit. Oh, and it's good to see you again, Ash. I've been wanting to give you an update about the joint publication between our old literature club and yours. All that's left to gather is a collection of poems by none other than yourself. Tatiana and I haven't given up hope on that you'll submit them yet. It's only a matter of time before he gives in. No doubt. So what brings you all to the capital today? Does it have something to do with that Evan Defense Force group that occupied Crossbow? It doesn't seem like she's heard anything about Prince Oliver and Lady Shira. Yeah, something like that. By the way, is it just me or are there fewer visitors here than normal? You noticed? Actually, the museum put a restriction on the number of visitors allowed at once recently. Something came up that has us concerned. Concerned? What do you mean? Concerned? What do you mean? You remember the museum is connected to a tunnel that leads to Heimdall's catacombs, right? We've been hearing what sounds like voices coming from that direction lately. It's kind of scary. I would imagine. Do you think it would be it could be monsters? Maybe, but if anything, it sounds more like a ghost, something completely unnatural. I dusted up my old Orbital staff to take a look down there before, but I didn't come across any signs of monsters. A ghost, huh? You expect us to believe that bullshit? Might I remind you that we experienced monsters and a magic night down there already? Not to mention, this was the spot the Dark Dragon's nest appeared before the Great Twilight. Something abnormal happening again isn't out of the question. Come to think of it, Instructor Sarah told us to drop by here a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't here at the time, but the head curator told me as much. There apparently was a break-in, so she came to investigate. I don't think it has anything to do with the noises we've been hearing, though. Perhaps, but it wouldn't hurt to keep it in mind. We should begin our investigation soon. I did put a formal request in with the guild already, but I guess they're swamped with other things right now. They said it'll be a while before they can get around to it. That's a shame, but I'm not surprised that they would be busy. Right? But we can't afford to just let the situation go unchecked. Would you mind if we looked into it, Dorothy? Not at all. We would really appreciate it. Man, this is going to be a pain in the ass, but I guess it's better than letting this place be done in by some poltergeist or something. Whether the cause of paranormal or not, I think this will be worth our time. I agree, there is a possibility that we could discover something that pertains on our current investigation. In that case, you should take this. Receive the museum basement key. It's just over there to the left of the main exhibit. Thank you, and do be careful. We will be. Unlock the door to the basement. Of course, I want to. My word. Real accurate info there, Four Eyes. Didn't she say she couldn't find any monsters? That just means the situation has gotten worse since Dorothy checked. And I don't think of these as your average kind of monsters. I've seen this type of creature in the past. An evil fairy, undoubtedly a type of demon. Just as we expected then. I don't know if it's because of them, but I feel a chill on my skin. That just speaks on how powerful the spiritual presence is here. Somehow, though, I don't think these demons are the only reason for this. Let's keep our guards up and take care of these things.
Fine. Bring it. Fine. Bring it.
Eternal.
Eternal.
All right. Nice work, team.
All right. Nice work, team.
Nice.
Nice.
Combat situation resolved. It looks like there is still more. It could be that they'll just keep coming endlessly, and that spiritual presence is as strong as ever. Whatever, they're all small fry to me. But I suppose your little sis ain't too bad, Schwarzer. Beautiful fencing, powerful arts, and precise support. There's no way you learned all that from Saint Estrella. Correct, I belong to no club either. In my case, the repair skills Father taught me serve as the basis of my fighting technique, and when I was younger, Rain tutored me as well. I see, you said as much as the dojo earlier, but you grew up in the perfect environment. She even took lessons from Master Kafai with me before. And then on top of that, she's been trained by the Stormwatcher too. Honestly, you could describe Elisa's style as entirely unique to her. Please, you exaggerate. Damn, you ain't Schwarzer's for nothing. Is this the voice Dorothy mentioned? It's coming from deeper within. Totally different from before. Is this an apparition? I swear I just saw something resembling Floroma grass for a second. This pressure is immense. This thing's completely different than what we fought so far. A hostile spirit being. It's my first time seeing one like this. It's like a deep-seated grudge of a sorcerer from the Dark Ages made manifest. Either way, it's clear this thing is the source of our problems. And we just gotta whoop its ass. Easy. Class 7 impresses, as always. I must be careful not to hold you all back. We've got 4 on our side, the absolute bare minimum. Looks like the enemy doesn't plan on leaving. If we want to be absolutely sure we can beat it, we should probably fight it with everyone together. Go. Let's get rid of this thing. Here we go, everyone. Yeah, roger that.
Powerful enemy.
Powerful enemy.
It's my turn.
It's my turn.
Here I go.
This'll be
Here I
fun.
go.
This'll
Engaging.
be fun.
Engaging.
Eternally flowing.
Eternally flowing.
Now.
Not on my one.
I'll fight.
Not on my one.
I'll fight.
Arcusac?
Arcusac?
Thank you. I'll support you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll support useless.
Thank you so much. Useless.
I'll fight.
Damn it!
Arcus activate.
It's my
I'll
turn.
fight. Arcus activate.
It's my turn.
I'll support you. Thank you so much.
Numbers up.
I'll support you. Thank you so much.
Numbers up.
My turn. I'll fight.
My turn.
No!
I'll fight. No!
Let's go.
I believe.
He's down.
Let's go.
He's mine.
It's down.
This'll be fun.
Mine. This'll be fun.
Got no time to waste.
Got no time to waste.
Good work, everyone. Phew, I'm glad things worked out. And it feels like the atmosphere around here is calming down. Then the apparition was the source of the problems down here. That seems like a safe conclusion. I imagine the rest of the monsters will leave as time goes on.
You know, I may have underestimated your skills, Elise. You've gotten so
I
strong.
may have underestimated your skills, Elise.
As your big brother,
You've gotten
I'll
so
always be
strong.
fussing over you at least a little.
As your big brother,
Now I know
I'll
I can
always be fussing over you
absolutely
at
trust
least a
you.
little. But now
You mean
I know
it?
I can absolutely trust you to have my
I'm
back.
so happy to hear you say
mean
that.
it?
Yeah, I'm pretty
I'm
candid
so
of you
happy
there,
to hear you
Schwarzer.
say that.
That just goes to show how much Elisa's resolve got through to him. Now then, we've cleared up that case of the creepy voice. Let's head back up and let Dorothy know what happened here. I never expected something like that to appear down there. Thank you so much, Reen. Don't mention it. We're glad we could help. I still wonder what could have caused a spiritual being like that to appear. That's a good question. I know strange monsters and devils appear across the Empire during the last 2 wars, but why now all of a sudden? And there's not just this incident. A magic knight appeared in Ymir recently as well. We still don't know what caused it. I'm convinced that something is happening just below Erebonia's surface again, at least. Great, can't this country take a vacation from all the crazy supernatural crap for once? It was a lot like those other otherworldly devils that appeared during the Great Twilight. I recall the ones we fought that last day, all attempting to absorb large amounts of power. In fact, their appearance may have been something to do with the holy beast of Earth. What's happening now is likely caused by something much different, but it's hard to ignore how similar the outcomes are. In any case, we don't have enough information to draw a conclusion as things stand. We should continue focusing on the investigation in front of us like we have been. Oh, would you take this? Consider it a token of gratitude. We won't be needing to compensate the guild thanks to your help after all. Hopefully it will prove useful during your investigation. 5,000 Mira. Thanks, Dorothy. We appreciate it. And before you go, could I interest you in a few copies of the new book I mentioned earlier? It's the 3rd volume of the romance series I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into. Love, Song in the Autumn Rain. What temptations await the pair of young men after overcoming so many trials? I'd go on, but saying any more would be spoilers. Well, we wouldn't want that to happen now, would we? And besides, I'd rather support you by purchasing it for myself at a bookstore. You make a good point. In that case, I'll be looking forward to hearing your thoughts when you buy it for yourself and give it a read. Especially you, Ash. Oh, hell no. I expect Ash's spiciest essay to date. RP increased by 5. If it isn't Rain in Class 7, and this would be your younger sister, right? Hi everyone, I never thought you would all be dropping in like this. Sorry to barge in. It's good to see you again, Emily. You too, Teresa. Hello, my name is Lee Schwarzer. It's a pleasure to meet you both. If I remember correctly, you both serve in the Imperial Air Force, yes? Are you here because of the incident in Crossbow? Good guess, but not quite. We're being transferred to the Joint Staff Office on recommendation from Supreme Commander Van Dyke. You are? That's great news, timing-wise. Though something tells me there's more to the story than that. Well, leave it to Rain to be as sharp as a tack. Something smells fishy, and it ain't the Leisha Aqueduct. We'd love to tell you what we know, honest, but it's still being treated as with top secrecy, even within the military. We promise we'll compare notes with you when the time comes, though. Good enough for me, I'll look forward to it. With that out of the way, yeah, I'm pretty worried about what's happening in Crossbow. I know Elisa is probably okay, but the fact that we haven't heard from her doesn't make it easier. I'm with you. We're in the dark thanks to the intelligence division being scaled back. It's so frustrating. All we can do is believe that she's somewhere safe right now and is okay. And so I felt too. I know the friends we have there will never lose hope, no matter how grim the odds are. I can't imagine the old Class 7 being phased now of all times. You're right, there's no point in wringing our hands right now. Let's just do what we can from over here for now. That's right. There may be tough times ahead, so look after yourselves and don't push too hard. Draco's Plaza.
That was so good! Alright, we can officially cross Draco's Plaza off the list. I'm ready to hit up the next spot.
We can officially
There's no
cross
need to be in
Draco's
such a
Plaza off
rush.
the list. I'm
How
ready
do
to
you
hit
still
up the
have
next
space in your
spot.
stomach?
There's no need to be in such a rush. How do you still have space in your stomach
You
for more?
insult me, sis. I need to try all the Capital's Meltwater
You
wars.
insult
I can't
me,
throw in the
sis.
towel
I need to
this
try all the
You
Capital's
need to
Meltwater
sample them all
morsels.
without
I
eating
can't
more
throw
than
in
your
the
body
towel
mass
this
in one
early.
sitting.
You need to sample them
Says
all
you.
without eating more
I'm
than your
still
body mass
growing.
in one
I
sitting.
gotta eat.
Growing
Says
up
you.
has less to do
I'm
with
still
regular
growing.
consumption
I gotta eat.
and more to do with acting
Growing
like an
up
adult.
has less to do with regular consumption
Oh,
and
hey
more
guys.
to do with acting like an adult. Oh, hey guys!
Counter-argument to that, by the way. If you want me to start acting like an adult,
Counter-argument
then you
to
gotta
that,
start
by the
treating me
way.
like it.
If you
Also,
want me to
I'm
start
supposed to
acting
feel
like
big
an
without
adult,
being
then
called a
you've
big
gotta start
sister.
treating me like it.
Counter-argument to
How's
your
a girl supposed to
counter-argument.
feel big without
That
being
makes
called
no
a big
sense.
sister?
Yes, it
Counter-argument
does.
to your
Don't be
counter-argument.
mean.
That makes no sense.
I didn't
Yes,
expect
it
you
does.
all
Don't
to
be
come this early.
mean.
We were going around gathering info and we happened to see you here. Elise wanted to help us out too, so that's why she's here. I'll do my best not to trouble you. I don't think there's any chance of that. You'll be a fine help. If you need anything, just lean on me. Thank you. I will. I think anyone can tell Lisa's going to be more a reliable asset than you are. Rude. Hehehe. Seeing them at a stall together takes me back to the summer festival. How was that only a few short months ago? It feels like so much longer. I can't imagine Yusuf saw what Rufus is doing coming either. It has to be weighing heavily on him. But at least he has Milliam to help take it off of his mind. Come on, give Big Sissy some love. Please remove yourself from around my neck. But we haven't seen each other in forever. It's barely been 2 weeks. That's 2 whole weeks! She whines, but she's not trying to escape. This is how it always is with them now. Hey, do you want to try some gelato or ice cream from one of the stalls? I'll treat you. The milk ice cream is super rich and tasty. I'll pass. I need to leave room for lunch. You're never gonna grow any bigger if you only eat the bare minimum, Tilly. I've gained another week on you since our last update. At this rate, you're gonna need heels to get anywhere close to my height. But then again, I am older, so maybe I've earned it. One ice cream completes with 5 scoops. You only allow 3 scoops maximum? Then I'll take 3, but I'd appreciate if you made them as big as possible. She really doesn't want to lose this thing they've got going on, huh? Anyway, were you guys gathering intel or just on a date? We were not standing idly. We were certainly not on a date. We've been looking into the flow of goods in the capital. That would explain why you were visiting multiple shops and stalls. What have you learned then? Well, it seems like there's lots of groups buying stuff in bulk lately. All kinds of stuff. Food, ornaments. It's almost like they're getting ready for something. That is unusual. I could get panic buying in response to Crossbow's occupation, but lately implies before that. Yeah, the war's over and winter's still far off, so it can't be stocking up for the weather. The buyers themselves are suspicious sorts. When we started looking into them in detail, we discovered that they were either startups or foreign. That, and they all appear to exist in name only. That only adds to the mystery. Oh, you're already done with your ice cream? Wasn't it good? Well, yes. I have to admit that. We're not here to discuss ice cream. If the buyers exist in name only, could we be dealing with cases of fraud? Actually, no. The transactions are legitimate. The sellers received their money, and the goods were dispatched. But the other significant mystery is that there is no record of where any of these goods ended up. The intelligence division has tried tracking some of these orders, but they just get forwarded all over the place before disappearing along with other orders like this. They may have had better luck if they marked an order from the moment it's placed, but alas. Right, by the time they realize they're dealing with another one of these, the transaction is already long gone. So, do we think whoever is doing this has gathered all the stuff they need by now? Probably. It sounds as though they're dealing with some very skilled criminals. Perhaps the reborn Imperial Legion front is hoarding supplies? What is it? Nothing worthy of note. I was just wondering if it perhaps may lead to Crossbell's new Supreme Leader instead. Well, it could. I just cannot fathom why my brother would be so foolish. I thought he'd finally learned his lesson. It makes no sense to me either. I haven't known him for that long, even if we were both Ironbloods. But after we beat him in the Imperial Fortress, he seemed pretty much done. I think we were all under the same impression. Either way, speculating on what he's trying to do serves us no purpose now. Regardless of his reasons, I will be sure to right his wrongs as his brother. I'm sorry you're going through this, Eustace. Right now our primary focus isn't him, but the missing prince and princess. That doesn't mean we can afford to turn a blind eye to Crossbell, mind. I'm just not sure whether the crisis there and their disappearance are connected in any way. But whatever the answer is, when our focus inevitably turns on him, you won't be alone in confronting him. So don't try running off alone, alright? Don't worry, I wouldn't dare. I'm well aware that there's only so much I can do alone. Hehehe, good, because your friends are here to help you in times of need, and definitely need us here. Well then, should we get back to gathering information? That would be wise. The more we can find, the better. Then let's go, go, go! Me and the little bunny are ready to go. Indeed, we can't let the rest of Class 7 be the only ones working hard. And I'll be here for whatever you need. Very, very ice cream.
The Emperor and Empress must be worried sick.
Princess
The
Elfin
Emperor
has
and
tried to
Empress
put on a
must be
brave
worried
face at
sick.
school, but deep down,
Princess Elfin has tried to put on a brave face at school, but deep down,
The sooner we...
Bite. Nice.
Want a bite? Nice.
It's a whopper.
It's a whopper.
Boutique, factory, weapons and armor, couple shops. You do it to the Chronicle building at the very end, okay. Go in here for... Oh, let's see which one you have. don't want to do anything here. Nothing here. And this department store. Bookstore. How many money at all? I don't want to talk to you. I want to just buy things. Thank you. You have nothing I want to buy. I'm poor right now. Also poor. I want to buy any of your stuff. Ooh, let's go here. I haven't talked to these people. I think this is Alan and whatever. Bridget. Is that Alan? Bridget? Hey, Erin, fancy running all of you here. It's been a while, hasn't it? Alan and I were just enjoying some quality time together between one of his missions. Sorry to interrupt, so does that mean the Army has been keeping you busy? Pretty much. The Army divisions have been stretched thin due to being scaled back. I'm doing everything I can to reduce the load on General Craig and Lieutenant Colonel Neidhart. I still owe them a lot after the war. That's why I volunteered to travel around the Empire to serve as a Panzer Soldat drill instructor and work on communications missions. The whole reason I'm in the capital today was to make a report. It's about something that supposedly affects all of the divisions. It seems a little shady to me, but we're covering all of our bases just to be safe. What causes you to find it suspicious? I don't think he's allowed to share that. I'm not, but I wouldn't be surprised if you guys ended up finding out on your own. Don't be surprised if the Imperial Army reaches out to you when the time comes. Hearing that just makes me more worried about what they have you doing. Even the nobility has been stressed this year, with many families reorganizing their territories. My family has been helping coordinate. Father's been so busy that I've had to help him, which means it's even harder for Alan and I to make time to see one another. It helps knowing that we'll finally be able to hold our wedding once things calm down. No shit? I bet that's a motivator. I suppose it's about time you two tied the knot. Congrats again. Haha, thanks, man. I finally feel like I'm a man worthy of being by Bridget's side after leaving the war behind. I don't plan on letting that change between now and the big day. Oh, Alan. Based on what we've heard so far from Alan and Emily, the Army Divisions and Air Force are both preparing for some sort of top-secret mission. Given the current situation in Nervonia, that must mean RP increased by 3. Well, if it isn't Class 7. I had no idea you were in the Capitol. Hey, missed you guys. We weren't expecting to run into the two of you either. Oh, is this a bad time? Everyone here looks really busy. Don't worry about that. I was just in the mood for a break anyway. Besides, there's no better way to get hot scoops than talking to you, Rain. Although I'm guessing your sister would have plenty of goss to share too, being the student council president and all. Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Oh, and I'm definitely asking to interview you at some point, Ash, so keep an eye out for that. I think we all know what that will be about. Ugh, can we just drop that? Heh, yeah, I think that one's gonna stick with you. Either way, I think we've made you stand for long enough. There are some chairs for meetings and the like over there. Why don't we go sit down? Only some of them get a sit. If you don't mind me asking, what brings you here anyways, Lynn? I thought you were still doing your residency over at St. Ursula. I am, technically. After I finished helping out at Branch campus, I started another year of studying crossbow. But while I was here in Heimdall for a training session, crossbow got occupied. So here I am. That would explain it. So obviously she decided to come spend some time with her favoriteest sister in the world. She's helping us with clerical work as a part-timer right now. Heh, well, ain't your company a bunch of bleeding hearts? Well, even if they'd said no, I was just gonna make her pretend to be me. Either way, I win. That sounds very illegal. Still, I don't think anyone saw this coming. The former Governor General suddenly declaring himself Supreme Leader of Crossbow? That's a shocker. The craziness he saw when you came in here is everyone trying to get a special issue ready about it all. Still, it's somewhat strange how little the general population has been reacting to the news. Everyone seems shockingly calm. I've been getting that impression too, during my time in the capital too. I imagine it's due to the part in the fact that no one is able to communicate with anyone over in Crossbow. Maybe the lack of immediacy is keeping the reality of the situation from sinking in. Has the Chronicle conducted any opinion polls on the issue? We sure have. And I gotta say, I was surprised by what people thought the Empire should do in light of all this. Most people responded that we should try to avoid any major conflicts. That is somewhat surprising. Given the recent history of Erebonia, I would have assumed people would respond more belligerently. Maybe people are finally just sick of war. That would be my take as well. The Battle of Yermungandr may have only lasted one entire day, but the economic toll of our reparations and the mental toll of those who were conscripted cannot be ignored. It's taken half a year for us to get to the point where life's finally starting to go back to normal too. Indeed, people are still focused on securing their own livelihoods. Of course, that's just your average Erebonian's take on the issue, not the government's stance. But neither the government nor His Majesty have cleared things up on that front yet. I've tried asking the military for a statement a few times, but no dice. Now that I'm not surprised by. Still, thanks for the information. I feel like I have a better grasp of the situation now. You're welcome. Now then, Irene, Hot Scoop Schwarzer, why don't you tell me about how your little investigation is going? And don't play dumb, I know all about it. You do? Did they ask you to assist with the search, Phoebe? Not quite. See, I first caught wind of it from a fellow reporter a little while back. It's just a rumor at that point, but I got right to work trying to corroborate it. I hit up every source I had, from other reporters to fellow Thor's alumni like Adolphe and Monk. Eventually, Major Claire realized I was hot on the story, and let's be real, at that point she didn't really have any options other than reaching out to me herself. So that's how I know. From anyone else, that story would surprise me, but not from you, Phoebe. I suppose the last thing anyone wants is an uninformed hearsay-based version of that story getting out. Yeah, the true version's bad enough. The information was shared with me, too, because I'm helping Phoebe out. Unfortunately, I don't think we know any more than you do just yet. Yeah, but if we catch word of anything, you'll be the first ones to know. So give us a call if you catch word of anything yourselves. Alright, will do. Now the park.
Modern Park is a popular spot to relax and unwind.
Modern Park is a
Yeah, doesn't
popular
matter.
spot
Okay,
to
no,
relax and
Don't
unwind.
I know it?
I apparently had
Taking
it
some
as
good ass naps here. Oh, there he is.
Don't I know it?
Just
Taking some
Ellie.
good ass
His
naps
music is
here.
always so beautiful.
Oh, there he is.
I wanna go
Finding
to
him
Ellie.
sure didn't take long, huh?
His music is always so beautiful.
How tranquil this.
Finding him sure didn't take long, huh?
What do you fish first?
For how tranquil this.
Bite. Nice.
Oh my god, this is a big one.
What a bite. Nice.
It's a whopper.
It's a whopper.
Go to Elliot now. Seems to be playing his violin or whatever he's doing. This is quite the crowd. There's his tune. Not bad. This looks like so much fun. We've come at the perfect time then. Let's go get a better view. I don't know if we could have given a better performance. It may have been our best one yet. Oh, but there's always room for improvements.
I think I'm with them on this one. It's not often our ensemble comes together this perfectly.
I think I'm with them on this one.
You
It's
got
not
me
often
there.
our ensemble comes
I
together
don't think we
this
had a single
perfectly.
note out of sync, did we? Nope, we were all feeling it to the point where it felt natural to play as one. I think you two were so into it that you forgot we had an audience. Not sure I should be proud of losing myself like that, but when it's just you and the music, there's no better feeling in the world. Well, I'll give you a pass this time, as long as our audience was happy. That's all that really matters. And they were very happy. You know, we wouldn't be having moments like these if not for you two. Yeah, if you hadn't shown up when you did. That experience gave me a real wake-up call on just how much power music can have. And it's up to us to decide how to use that power, be it for good or for ill. I regret what we decided last year. I can't believe that we tried to take such a beautiful thing and twist it to inspire war. What were we thinking? Whatever it was, it's in the past now. Exactly. You're back to your old selves now, right? A good thing too, because today wouldn't have gone nearly as well without you. Yeah, I could never dream of being how I was. Now we can take what we've learned and focus on bettering both ourselves and the world as musicians. You almost make it sound like you'll be flying circles around me if I don't pick up the slack. Then we'll just have to keep up the pace. Oops, got sidetracked. I've spotted a few familiar faces among the audience and meant to say hello sooner. Oh yeah, you're friends from Thor's, right? Yeah, we should say hello together. Yeah, let's go!
Sorry for making you wait, but I'm glad you stuck around for the show. What'd you think?
Sorry
You
for
need to
making
be
you
polite
wait,
and tell
but
us how you
I'm glad
really
you stuck
did.
around for the
I
show.
thought it was brilliant.
What'd you think?
You were in
No
perfect
need to
harmony
be
with one
polite and
another.
tell us how we really
I was
did.
genuinely
I thought it was
speechless.
brilliant. You were in perfect harmony with one another.
I was genuinely
Yeah,
speechless.
Almost hurts that I wasn't able to catch the start of it.
I'll take that.
Yeah, almost hurts that I wasn't able to catch the start of it.
We thought we did well too,
I'll
but
take
it's
that.
nice hearing it wasn't just in our heads. I see you found Eustace Emilium. Indeed, we met not too long before coming here. Hehehe, now we're all together. Sorry if it feels like we dragged you over our way. Is this the first time you've seen each other as a whole? Oh no, we had a class reunion not too long ago. We just hadn't had a chance to play together in ages. We couldn't pass it up with all of us being in Heimdall now. The Rheinvelt Company started up a small orchestra and I couldn't resist applying since I used to work there. Then Ron and Morris joined it too, so here we are. I didn't know they started one. I imagine you'd have to be top-notch to be accepted. Yeah, it wasn't easy getting accepted, let me tell you. But hey, we can't let Elliot show us up all the time, so it was worth the hustle. Makes sense. I'm just glad you found a way to keep playing music that makes you happy. And the thing that'd make me happy is the four of us going on tour together in the future, so I hope we can. Really? Consider my bag's already packed. Did you guys just forget what we were talking about? Elliot can do what he likes, but we have to work around the orchestra schedule. I'm sure we can figure something out, though. By the way, I wasn't expecting to see Elise with you. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Your classes are sorely missed. Aha, I haven't done that many, but that's still nice of you to say. What? You're a teacher? I think the girls mentioned that to me, come to think of it. You're a music lecturer at St. Estrella, correct? Provisional, but yeah. I'm still learning the ropes of showing the ropes, but it's been a lot of fun so far. Ooh, I want you to teach me a music lesson, Elliot. I'm amazed you can carve out the time, but I can see you having a knack for it. I can't believe you get to instruct at an all-girls school, too. Elliot always manages to luck out in life, huh? I wish I could lecture at St. Estrella just once would be enough. I hope you never will if you think he's lucking out. Oh, is that the time? We should probably get going. Reinfeldt wants us to start rehearsing at their flagship store. Yeah, we'll see you guys around. Have fun with the rest of your time in Heimdall. I'll make sure they do. Hope rehearsal goes well. See you later. Well, I guess it's time we got started. I managed to gather some useful information. That was fast. Where from? I spoke to a few fans and hit up some connections at the Music Academy. It seems Imperial Army soldiers have been spotted in town a lot more than usual these days, and whatever they're meeting up here for, it's not on the docket. That is suspicious. I called Dad to see if he knew anything about it, but no luck there. Sounds like the prince's disappearance is top secret even when you go pretty high up. I get the feeling he knew something though, just that he wasn't sharing. It's very odd for soldiers to be having secret meetings while in uniform. It's possible they're foreign spies disguising themselves as soldiers, but I don't see what they would stand to gain from their actions. Yeah, I don't think it's that deep. I'm with Ash on this one. It wouldn't shock me if they were still in uniform all off the clock because they were short on time. Is something bothering you, Elise? There is, but I'd like to get my thoughts in order a little more before sharing. Oh, alright then. All we get now is that something smells fishy. Lady Warrior's instincts were absolutely onto something, yeah. It's too early to say for certain if any of this relates to sea, but we should keep that in the back of our minds just in case. Right, you never know when the pieces will start coming together. The investigation continues then. Yeah, let's keep our eyes peeled. And just like that, we got the band back together. Haha, I guess so. So any luck gathering info? Yes, now would be a good time to compare what we found. In that case, how about we meet at the cafe inside the department store? Great idea, let's head there now.
Am I imagining things?
Is something the matter?
Am I imagining
No.
things?
It's nothing.
C and what's his face?
Is something the matter?
No, it's nothing.
It's a little early, but heck, I'm down for lunch. Forget tea time, how about we take meal time? Milliam, I think you've eaten enough. More than enough. A call? Representative Regnitz? Greetings, Reed. My apologies for contacting you out of the blue like this. I was wondering if by chance you could have met with the rest of Class 7 by now. We did get together with the investigation group in the Capitol not too long ago, in fact. I take it you have some idea of what's going on with us? Heh, more or less. But not like back when the Intelligence Bureau was under direct control of the government. Man, it's wild that we have a direct line to the head of government, huh? About that, there's a matter of utmost importance I must discuss with you all. Assuming you haven't eaten yet, I'd love to discuss it over lunch. Great timing, let's all grab a bite together. It'll be all our pleasure. Much appreciated. I'll be waiting at the Der Heimel Hotel in the Garnier District. Oh, and please don't feel rushed, I have plenty of time. Alright, thank you, as always. Representative Regmans wants to discuss something with us directly? Perhaps he's learned something pertaining to the incident. Either way, I think we can count on something juicy. Der Himmel, right? That's a fancy hotel in the Garnier District. Lunch at a hotel, huh? Consider me pumped. How about you, Eustace? Please, I'm begging you, don't forget your table manners. It seems we all have a bit of free time. It would be best to tie up any loose ends while we have the chance. Right, this could be a golden opportunity to investigate the Garnier District. Once we're all set, let's head to the hotel. The Garnier District.
I don't sense anyone following me now. So why did I sense it before?
I don't sense anyone following me now. So why did I sense it before?
The jewelry they got inside these babies is always so pretty. Pretty enough to buy for me. Right?
The jewelry they got inside these babies is always
Ask me
so
again
pretty.
in a decade.
Pretty enough to buy for me.
You got it,
Right,
Sugar Daddy.
you sis?
I'm gonna hold you to it. Just
Ask
don't...
me again in a decade.
You got it, Sugar Daddy. I'm gonna hold you to it. Just don't go.
The way they interact is so sweet.
The way they interact is so sweet.
The bishop's here. We're scheduled to have lunch with Representative Regnitz at this hotel. We still have some time to spare, but I wonder if we should head in early. Entering will cause the main story to advance. Heimdall will become inaccessible as will any sub-events yet to be seen.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Not
coming.
at all. Thank you for inviting us.
Not at all. Thank you for inviting us.
I'm so happy I get to see your faces again.
Your Highness.
What brings you here, Your Highness?
I'm so happy I get to see your
You
faces
should
again.
very much be
Your
asking
Highness.
me the same thing.
What brings you here, Your Highness?
And you're being forced to place
I should
yourself in
very
harm's
much be
way for
asking
my
you the
group.
same thing. All this. And you're
Sorry
being
for not
forced to
consulting
place
you
yourself in
first.
harm's way
Yes,
for my
as you
brother.
ought to be. I'm your best friend.
I'm so
I
sorry
could have
for
thanked
not
you much
consulting you
sooner at
first.
least had you not kept
Yes,
this a
as you
secret
ought to
from
be.
me.
I'm your best
You
friend.
won't stop me?
I could have thanked
Stop
you much
you?
sooner, Elise,
Heaven
had you not
forbid.
kept this a secret
As
from
soon
me.
as Representative
And you won't
Reynolds
stop
informed
me?
me of the details,
Stop you?
I chose to
Heaven
accompany him of
forbid.
my own volition.
As soon as Representative
Fair
Reynolds
to ignore a
informed me
matter
of the
that involves
details,
my family.
I chose to accompany him of
Please,
my own
let me do
volition.
my part.
I cannot
Let me
bear
be
to
part of
ignore
your
a matter
team.
that
I'd like
involves
that
my
very
family.
much.
You've
So
always been a
please,
part of the
let me
team,
do
Your
my
Highness.
part. Let me be
This has
part
come
of
to
your
a fine
team.
resolution.
I'd like that very
but it
much.
won't do
You've
to begin
always been a part
discussions
of the
on
team,
an
Your
empty
Highness.
stomach. Why
Well,
don't
this
we
has
have
come
some
to a
lunch
fine
first?
resolution, but it won't do to
Won't
begin
hear any
discussions
objections
on
from
an
me.
empty
Lunch?
stomach.
I
Be
could
good.
definitely
Why
use a
don't we
bite.
have some lunch first?
You won't hear any objections from me.
I could definitely use a bite.
Ah, that really hit the spot. I can hardly believe you finished it all. Your stomach really is a void. I'd like to see who can eat more between you and Maya. I can't blame you though. The quality of a first-class hotel's food is not to be underestimated. Yeah, I didn't think I'd get to come to a place like this on my food tour. You must have really liked it too, Tilly. You ate a ton. Well, I'm a growing girl just as much as you. Well, I'm glad you both enjoyed it. Shall we get down to business then? First, I wanted to discuss the disappearance of the prince and new princess. With what we have now, we believe it to be the work of a terrorist who goes by sea. I wish we could say more about them, but I'm afraid we know very little. Just that they're the leader of a so-called reborn Imperial Liberation Front. They also look slightly different from the sea we dealt with in the past. Speaking of which, I like your take on that, Matarine. Do you believe the new sea and the original sea are one and the same? I'll admit that I haven't been able to get in touch with Crow to confirm for sure. But I'm convinced that no, they are not the same person. I was thinking the same. This new one has mimicked the original style in the statement, but I think Crow has left those days behind for good. It's a relief to hear you feel that way. Seems like a safe bet, yeah. As for the contents of a statement, they refer to directly to His Highness. Our first target was the foolish prince and his wings, now bound to an action. That does make it quite clear that they were responsible for the abduction. I would assume wings refer to the courageous. Vast as the Empire is, how they're able to keep a ship that size hidden from sight is quite the mystery itself. Yeah, it might have stealth capabilities, but that can only go so far on its own. It's impressive they managed to keep the location from the intelligence division, even if it isn't at its former size. Me and Tilly are still in it though. So you heard any new statements from C? I'm afraid not, that's the only one. We've been trying to investigate this matter as best as we can, but our foe is quite cunning. They won't let themselves be caught so easily. If only. Given the nature of his crime, we'll need to be exceptionally covert during our investigation. But naturally, the government cannot and will not leave this case unsolved. You will have our full backing however you choose to go about this. If you're in need of the military police's assistance, you need only to ask. Thank you, Your Excellency. Next, I'd like to discuss your primary reason for summoning you here. Would that be the information you said you wanted to share when you called? That it would. This information was given to me by General Van Dyke, but Princess Alphen and Elise have also verified it with their own experiences. Really? Does this relate to the thing you were concerned about when we met up with Elliot? Yes, it does. Allow me to explain. The students of St. Estrella come from many a different background. We have many with family in the military, including officers and generals. That in itself isn't a problem. What is that many of these military family members have been reportedly acting strangely of late. In what way? I remember hearing rumors that when I was at that school too. Most of them are seemingly reformists and young officers who idolize the late Chancellor. It's as if they refuse to settle back into normality after the war's end. They're still addressing others with deep aggression and are clearly very unhappy with the current state of the Empire. But the thing that concerns us most of all is that the reaction to Crossbow's reoccupation. They aren't at all angry with the idea of a united nation. It's the opposite, in fact. They're in full support of it. That is not good. That's an understatement. While utter insanity, the success of a united nation would also mean that the end of Erebonia. Precisely. I am a reformist, but supporting such an extreme concept is nothing short of baffling to me. According to General Van Dyke, some of them have been showing worrying signs of plotting something in light of this. Exactly what that something is in detail has yet to be confirmed. That kind of ties up with what me, Eustace, and Elliot found out too. Yeah. Oh, could you tell me what you discovered? The group shared their findings with Representative Rickmans. Soldiers having covert meetings in the city and large amounts of supplies disappearing. It wouldn't surprise me if members of the army were defecting to the Evan Defense Force. I think we need to look into potential points of contact between them. Agreed. I think we've also got a clear picture of what's been going on here after sharing all we know. If we put the pieces we currently have together, the muck and mire that gathers in the Vermilion City from Sea Statement refers to defecting members of the army. That makes sense. The statement did mention it would see those who supported the United Nations pay for their crimes. Guess it's all falling into place. If there really are rebels in this army and punishing them is C's goal, then who we find first doesn't really matter because the other will be there. How convenient for us. Yeah, sure. I'm glad I was able to help put you on the right track. Class 7 always comes through in the end. Your Highness? Pardon me, you don't have to worry. I'm hardly the one for whom life is difficult right now. I'm sure that if I were to ask you to rest, you wouldn't listen, but please at least be a little gentler to yourself, Your Highness. But the great mental burden is not knowing whether family is safe and well is not to be underestimated. Them being missing also means you have to carry on with the work that you would normally be given to them. You're going through too much for one to handle right now. If you are feeling at all unwell, we would like for you to consider taking some time off. I couldn't possibly. I'm in full agreement. Taking care of yourself is as much part of your duties as working. While you do that, you'll see to those crimes are solved. You have our word. I'll do what I can in your stead, and I will see that Prince Oliver and Lady Sherazard are brought back home as soon as possible. You can put your trust in us. I suppose you're right. Perhaps resting is as much part of my duties as well.
My heart is breaking for you, Your Highness. No one should have to handle a burden like this alone.
My heart is breaking for you, Your Highness. No one should have to handle a burden like this alone.
I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention.
You're staring.
Oh,
It wasn't my intention to
sorry.
scold you either.
that wasn't my intention.
I'm well aware that you're being considerate of
It
my
wasn't
feelings.
my intention
I
to scold
appreciate
you
it.
either. I'm well aware that you're being considerate of my feelings.
And you won't have to worry,
I
Your
appreciate
Excellency.
it.
We're still not exactly
glad.
sure how the situation stands in Crossbell, but I'm sure Machias is just fine. I concur. It will take more than this to make him lose heart. Thank you both. I've also put similar faith in my son. I'm sure he's doing everything he can on the inside to see justice prevail. As are Elisa and Toa. I think we all feel the same way. They ain't got nothing to worry about as long as they have Super Maid with them. And we're a whole super crew, so if they've got things covered, then so do we. That's right. Thank you all for your time. I'm glad we could exchange information. It was a very worthwhile meeting. Well, we ought to make our way back to the palace. Be careful on your journey, everyone. And I'm counting on you, Elise. Thank you, Your Highness. Good luck. I'm always available if you need to get in touch. Should we get going too then? Yes, let's. Something feels strange. Choosing to continue will cause the main story to advance. It will also not be possible to go any further in the main story for a brief period. Is something wrong? It's probably nothing. I just gotten a weird feeling. It feels like something is in my pocket that wasn't there before. Like what Lloyd had. What is this? Huh? That's a weird looking mirror. Since when did you carry one of those? Since never. This isn't mine. It just ended up in my pocket somehow. Are you certain? I doubt anyone would slip something into your pocket without you noticing. Yeah, nothing gets by you, Rean. I don't have a clue how this got here. But there has to be a reason behind it. Though I can't imagine it connects to any way to the prince's disappearance or what's happening in Crossbow. What? What's happening?
The conditions have been met. The road to where all may gather, to where destiny avails itself.
The conditions have been met. The road to where all may gather, to where destiny avails itself, just at the horizon, is open. Come and sink into an illusion that mirrors the real world and extols its endless possibilities.
What just happened? What? Where are we? It's some sort of white garden. I've never seen anything like it. I'm getting the feeling there's more to this place than meets the eye too. I mean, what kind of garden is surrounded by floating books? Yeah, I'm not so sure we are, but it doesn't feel like the world we know. How did we even get here to begin with? That's a good question. I can't fathom how we came here either. In fact, I can't recall what I was doing before I ended up here at all. I feel as though we were all together the moment we arrived, but beyond that, I haven't the slightest clue what happened. Well, this is just great. It's like something's blocking out of my memories before we got here. Actually, it's worse than that. It's not just my memories of right before. There's got to be a pretty good reason I was hanging around with you guys, but beats me what it is. At least we're all on the same page about that. I feel fuzzy too. I've been trying my best to recall what I was doing earlier today, but nothing's coming to mind. My best guess is we were working together for some reason, but I'm not sure why. Regardless of how we got here, I think it's safe to assume it's affected our memories somehow. Agreed, and standing around being confused isn't going to answer any of our questions. I think we should have a look around and see what we can find. So do I. If nothing else, we need to know whether this garden is safe. We may find clues as to how we arrived here as well. Sounds like we've got a plan then. Oh, and don't forget there are 2 floors to this place. Let's check them both out. A large sphere floating in the air. What could this be? I'm not sure. I've never seen anything like it. The pattern on its surface kind of resembles the one of the place's walls. It's being placed on a platform in the middle makes it seem important too. It doesn't appear to be actively doing anything at the very least. Yet another mystery to be solved. Let's just push it to the back of our minds for now and remember that it's here. Nothing back here. A good old stone monument, huh? Now it's starting to come together. You figured something out? Yep, I'm 100% certain now that I don't have a clue what's going on. 3 years later and he hasn't changed a bit. We're right back to square one. I know this is a garden, but part of me still wasn't expecting to find a tree. Yes, let alone one as splendid as this. It seems so out of place here. Looks like some kind of broadleaf tree. Never seen one with leaves, bark, or branches like this before, though. It's like something else entirely got reshaped into the form of a tree. That's an interesting perspective. Now I'm even more confused. Let's just agree that there's something unusual about it, though that doesn't make it feel any different from the garden as a whole. We can't rule out it being placed here for more than just decoration. Unless my eyes are playing tricks on me, I'm pretty sure it's glowing too. The more we explore, the more mysterious this place seems to be. I suppose all we can do is keep poking around and hope everything becomes clear. Is this some kind of door? Yes, and it's unusually large. I wonder what it's doing here. It looks entirely out of place. You could say that about the books floating around too. I've been thinking about those ever since we arrived. There's something about them that's very disturbing. No kidding. And what's stranger is I can't make out any of the titles on the books no matter how hard I look either. That's a mystery in itself. A stone pillar? I think it's some kind of device. The mysteries continue to pile up. There's another one over there as well that probably holds some significance. Let's check it out. This one's pretty similar to the other one, but something's different about it. It does seem that way. There must be some reason there are two of them. Yeah, it's safe to assume they're connected in some way. They're likely related to whatever this place's purpose is. If only we knew whatever the heck it was. Hopefully we'll figure something out if we keep looking around. It's a globe on some kind of pedestal. I can only assume this is meant to be used for something as well. Something important by the look of it. No reaction at all. Yeah, whatever this thing is, it's not on at the moment. It looks like a relic or something, given the feel of this place. Hard to say for sure, though. Now that you mention it, this garden only resembles an ancient ruin of sorts. There's just one problem with that theory. Yeah, everything seems too new. There's not a speck of dust on this pedestal. It looks like it was made 5 minutes ago. Then why isn't it active? I can think of several possibilities, but they're all just conjecture. Guess we should keep looking around. That mirror is enormous. And it looks remarkably similar to this one. You're right, it's as though the smaller mirror is a fragment of the larger one. Come to think of it, I'm surprised I can remember you even having that mirror. I do too, although I can't remember what it is or why Lloyd has it. Actually, did you work something out? I wouldn't go that far, unfortunately. I just remembered something that's common in Eastern folklore. It said mirrors with evil spirits in them can cause strange phenomena. It made me wonder if this mirror perhaps has some kind of strange power in it. And if that's how we were all brought here. That's pretty spooky, but just as a good guess as any at this point. This place is so weird that I wouldn't rule out anything as a possibility. Yep, I can feel something strange coming off of it, but it's not doing anything for now at least. Maybe it'll kick in or something if we do something else around here. Are you saying it could have conditions? If that's the case, discerning those conditions could be our key to getting out of here. Let's continue to have a look around then. The four investigated the area further but weren't able to find anything useful. Eventually, they returned to the plaza where they first arrived to discuss their next move. I think we've all seen all there is to see around here. Unfortunately, I still don't have a clue what this place is. Likewise, everything we've inspected has just left us with more questions. I just wish we still had our memories from before we came here. I imagine that would fill in several gaps for us. Still, it isn't as though we haven't learned anything useful at all. For one, we know this place was created by someone or something. True, it's definitely weird enough to not seem real, but I think it's safe to assume it has some kind of purpose. Beyond that, we know it resembles some sort of garden or ruin, but it's anyone's guess as to what it is intended to be. There's also all those devices we came across, but none of them are active. So that leads us right back to square one. Let's agree that each detail is going to be useful information and trying to learn more. Above all, we need to learn why we're here.
A new story is in motion. Your fate is but one thread intermingled with many. Now,
Your fate is but one thread intermingled with many.
Was
Now,
that a memory?
rise from
Are you
your
alright,
slumber.
Lloyd? Something came to me just now. Do you guys remember hearing a voice just before coming here? A voice? Wait, now that you mention it. I do faintly remember hearing one. There is something strange about it. Yeah, I kinda remember it too, but it's still pretty fuzzy. I wonder. I mentioned before just one thread among many. Does that mean... That sound, I remember hearing it before we came here. You've gotta be kidding. Yeah. Where are we? What the heck is going on? I don't recognize this place at all. Whoa. What just happened? Did we fall into some kind of teleportation spell? No, that wouldn't add up. Green, you were called here too? Lloyd? Right, I feel something or someone brought us here, but that's all I can remember. It's strange. I can't remember what we were doing at all a few minutes ago. Me neither. What's really weird is it don't feel like I was in any sort of panic. I feel like everything was normal. The hell's going on here? Were we even together before this? I could have sworn we had all split up. I can't say for sure, but that's what my instincts are telling me as well. That sounds remarkably similar to what we went through. I'm guessing we essentially experienced the same thing. The only difference is they had split into two parties, but were called at the same time. I think the most logical thing to do now is swap all the info we have. So you suddenly found yourself in possession of a strange mirror you never seen before or heard a voice? You were right, that's what happened to us too. How did we experience the exact same thing so far apart? Your guess is as good as mine. Even us being unable to remember where we were before is the same. I would ordinarily refuse to believe such a bizarre sequence of events, but it's impossible to refute so much hard evidence. My top concern is understanding the why rather than the how. There must be a reason why we specifically were the ones brought here. I know what you mean. This is the last way I expected to see Lloyd and Ellie again. Yeah, I wasn't planning on a sudden reunion, but it's good to see you again. I'm sorry it's not under better circumstances, but it's good to see you again, Yuna. Same here. Yuna continues to be a social butterfly, even in the strangest of situations. Well, that just shows how genuine she is. That's certainly the real Yuna. Still, if not a single one of us remembers where we were or what we were doing before we were called here. Yep, that's gotta be by design. Something about this place blocks the recent memories of anyone who comes here. What other explanation can there be? But how can that be possible? Beats me, but let's face the facts. The only thing that makes sense. I agree, it's the only reasonable explanation. Regardless of how we got here, we have to accept that this place is very unusual. Easier said than done. No, he's right. Let's move past to that and focus on the bigger picture. We must consider what we should do next. My first instinct is to search for an escape route so we can return back to wherever it is we were. But you all said you didn't have any luck during your investigation, yes? I'm afraid so. Hold up. What was that? Well, what do we know? It looks like Class 7 coming here may have been one of the conditions. Conditions? Oh yeah, You worked something out. Maybe, but I'm still speculating. These mirrors we're given might just be fragments of a bigger whole after all. And if that's the case, well, I think we have a relatively good idea of the situation we're in now. Though I wouldn't mind getting a look around here for myself before we go any further. It might not help work out who or what is responsible for all this, but I'd like to at least familiarize myself with the surroundings. Good thinking. You said stuff's changed since you first wandered around, right? That's an excellent point. We'll come with. I want to see what's changed as well. Check it out, that tree's glowing. Even the bark looks weird. We thought the same, but it wasn't giving off light like this when we were here before. It feels different somehow. It's as though the tree is springing with vitality now. It reminds me of something from a fairy tale. Oh, do tell. Spirit trees. They're said to have shining branches and leaves, and they're filled with mana that can heal the body and mind. Or at least that's what I recall reading. Now that you mention it, you used to read those kinds of things all the time, didn't you? I suppose it does look like something like that. Great, just what we need. More magical bullshit. But what if it does have the same properties as the trees Lily's described? Then it would help us out a lot. It's worth giving it a shot. I would say that was an accurate deduction. That's a relief. We still don't know what it is, but at least we know it can heal us. I've never seen anything like it in nature. Neither have I, but at least we have somewhere to return if we're injured. Knock on wood, but yeah, you're right. This device has activated as well. It's a little foreboding. I can make out words glowing on it. The Millennial Trove, commodities in exchange for currency. What is that supposed to mean? Sounds like a vending machine. I'm guessing it takes mirror somehow. That would be convenient. That it would. Who knows how long we could be here. Being able to resupply would be a boom. Alright, we found ourselves a shop. The Millennial Trove, was it? I hope its stock lives up to its name. You're all having a much easier time accepting this reality than I am. It does take some getting used to. So what about the device to the left? Does it serve a similar purpose? I would imagine so. The Blazing Forge. Applied Septium Principles. The description is a little vague, but do you think it's possible for us to modify our orbits here? That would be helpful, and yet, yeah, this one is even more ominous looking than the other. Maybe because it confirms that there are dangers lying ahead of us. It's that sound again. I'm guessing we managed to satisfy another condition. I wonder what it could be.
Food process complete. Construction of the Reverie Garden administered space complete.
Food
Beginning
process
construction
complete.
of the Reverie corridor.
Construction of the Reverie Garden administered space complete. Beginning construction of the Reverie corridor.
Well, looks like the party is finally getting started. That voice sounds familiar, too. Indeed, I believe we're about to learn the reason why we're here. There were a lot of interesting phrases in what little she said. Boot process, administered space, the Reverie Garden. Yes, and most notably, Reverie corridor. I'd be lying if I said it didn't ring a bell. Let's make our way to the Central Plaza to get a better look at what's changed. That sphere from earlier is active now.
New temporal space forged. This world was constructed by the Black Mirror. Its function is to present
New temporal
trials,
space
allowing
forged.
you to
This
cultivate
world
the
was
strength
constructed by the
to
Black
overcome
Mirror.
great distortions
Its
in
function
your
is to
destiny.
present trials, allowing you to cultivate
The Black
strength
Mirror?
to overcome great
I'm more concerned with
distortions
what
in
it
your
means by
destiny.
trials. I'm guessing this thing governs the space we're in, meaning we were brought here to complete whatever these trials are.
Correct. This process is an emergency measure intended to correct the laws of causality. Your
Correct.
understanding may be incomplete.
This process is an
due to
emergency
force
measure
limitations placed
intended
on
to
your
correct the
memories.
laws of causality.
The current sequence
Your
of events
understanding may be
with crossbell at its
incomplete
center
due to
has
force
originated
limitations
due to an
placed on your
impossible
memories.
singularity.
The
At
current
this
sequence
time,
of events
the
with
chances of
crossbell at
correcting
its
this
center
singularity
has originated
are
due to
zero.
an impossible
It is for this
singularity.
reason that
At
the
this
Black
time,
Mirror has
the
chosen
chances
to
of correcting
intervene.
this singularity are zero.
Uh-huh.
It is for this reason
Is this
that
thing
the
even
Black
speaking
Mirror
our
has
language?
chosen to intervene.
That confirms that our memories truly are being tampered with. No wonder we couldn't understand what was happening. I'm at a loss. I'm as lost as anyone else. From the sound of it, though, the Black Mirror is looking out for us. Yeah, and it mentioned something bad happening to Crossbell. A lot of what it said flew over my head, but if I understood the gist of it, it's saying that it'll help us fight against whatever's happening in the real world. Now that you mention it, that's how I interpreted it as well. But how exactly is it going to achieve that? An excellent question, especially given that we're not permitted to remember everything that's happening on the outside.
Strength gained here has been approved for use outside of the Reverie corridor, even if new memories have been denied.
Strength gained here
Challenging
has
the
been
true
approved for
Reverie
use
corridor
outside
to
of the
better your
Reverie
strength
corridor,
is required.
even if new
Only
memories
then
have been
will the
denied.
possibility to defy
Challenging the
destiny
true
be
Reverie
within your
corridor to
grasp.
better your strength is required. Only then will the
That
possibility
clears up some
to
of our
defy
suspicions,
destiny be within
but there are
your
still some
grasp.
things unanswered. True, but we confirmed something important. This place exists to make us stronger. It's up to us to determine how much strength we gain and whether we'll be strong enough to change whatever fate has in store for us. That simplifies things if you ask me. Indeed, we're left with only one option. Rise to the challenge, both for ourselves and the homes we came from. And this has just as much to do with us judging by it being named the True Reverie Corridor. Agreed. I couldn't shake the feeling that this place was slightly familiar to me. Still, we don't know what the true part signifies just yet. Oh yeah, Green said the name rang a bell. Sure does, brings back a lot of memories. Sounds like this version is here to pump us up and get us ripped. It's like our own secret training ground. It could prove rather useful. We all have people and things we want to protect on the outside. Yes, and we each know the kind of strength it takes to overcome the impossible. So let's work together and gain the strength we need.
It is for that reason I and the Reverie Garden exist.
It is for that reason I
Access
and
to
the Reverie
first
Garden
stratum has
exist.
been granted. May you seize the ability to overcome the impossible over the course
Access
of your
to the
trials.
first stratum has been granted. May you
Talk
seize
about
the ability
hospitality.
to overcome
The way
the
is finally
impossible
open for us.
over
Let's
the
take this
course of your
opportunity.
trials.
Right. You may now challenge Reverie Corridor's first statement via the central elevator. Select which party members you wish to take. Lloyd and Irene are required for your initial exploration of the first stratum. Who do I want after that? Let's see, I'll take... There. Take Risha. And I will take... Elliot. The items we intercepted belonging to Irene and Lloyd's parties have been consolidated. The contents of the notebooks have also been unified. From now on, any items or notebook data acquired by Irene or Lloyd will be accessible to the other party as well. Looks like everyone has taken the chance to get more familiar with this place. I should probably check to make sure we have everything we need before we begin challenging the Reverie Corridor. I never thought I'd hear that name again, but here we are. Then again, this place seems a lot different than before. Are they really one and the same? Either way, it's pointless to worry about that right now. I need to focus on what's right in front of me and what I can control. We will now begin exploring the Reverie Garden as Irene. Select a starting point. So this is the Reverie corridor. It doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason to the way it's expanding. You guys are acting as if it's nothing new. Well, that's because it isn't. A place like this manifested beneath the Thor's main campus, old schoolhouse a couple years ago. That was also called the Reverie corridor. Though something seems different about this one. You know, I'm still not sure how to put it into words, but I was getting the same feeling. I've heard about strange spaces like this from Estelle Phantasma, she called it. This isn't quite it, though. We should probably assume they're unrelated. Agreed. The similarities are there, but we may as well treat this like it's someplace brand new. I know we're only on the first floor, but everything begins with the first step, so let's get moving. The Reverie corridor is a unique place. A number of special AT bonuses that demand caution are present in battle. Be wary of letting the enemy get them.
It always starts with the first step.
Save. I'll be done.
It always starts with the first step.
Okay guys, I'm gonna get off for now. I will be back on soon, probably playing Rocket League or something different. Yeah, bye.